So how long have you been doing yoga?
I just started. I got the DVD for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. It's good. I think good stretching.
Mhm.
It's basically made for people in wheelchairs or the elderly. And I used to swim every day. I had a
Oh,
pool
wow.
in my house, and we moved 3.5 years ago. So I'm not able to do that for my exercise anymore. And I know I need exercise, so
Mhm.
I'm trying to find things that I can do on my own without assistance.
Okay. What did you find out about yoga?
I think I Googled wheelchair yoga.
Okay.
I had a videotape from years ago from a friend of mine that has spina bifida as well.
Mhm.
And it's a VHS tape, so you really can't access it anymore. So I was looking for something new. And I emailed this woman that developed the DVD and the program. And she sent me back, which videos would be best for my situation and
Okay.
gone from there. So I like it.
Very nice.
Is it a challenge for you to do any of these exercise programs? Do you find it difficult, or do you feel like you had to adapt?
Yes, I've had to
Okay.
adapt. I used to be able to walk with long leg braces, and I had this room that my pool used to be in. My father built me parallel bars, which a friend of mine would come over every morning for breakfast and take me for a walk.
Mhm.
We'd get the braces on and walk as much as we could, and then that would be good, to stretch out my hips and things like that. But lately, I don't have that accessibility anymore.
Okay.
And I'm mostly during the day by myself. My husband does work out of the house, and so I need to find things that I can do myself.
Understand.
Yeah.
So independence is definitely something that you value.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, could you explain in a little bit more detail about the assistive equipment you use? Any technology that you might use to help you throughout the day, or just
Okay.
in general?
Computer's wonderful. Internet, just finding information that I need to know, or keeping in touch with people socially. A lot of people can't come to me, and I can't go to them because I can't get into their houses.
Mhm.
So I think the internet and Facebook is important. In my home, my husband is very handy, so he has built ramps for me to get into my garage, into the house, and then also an access out the front. So I have 2 exits and entrances into the home.
Wow.
He also, I'm trying to think, he had to tear down a wall, make access so that I can manipulate my scooter
Oh, okay.
through the home. The doors luckily were all wide enough that I could get into the bathrooms and all the
Okay.
bedrooms and things. So our former home, we built it, and he built it with the knowledge that I would eventually be in a wheelchair because I wasn't at the time.
Mhm.
So that was really accessible, plus I had the pool and
Right.
Yes.
different things like that. I use the scooter. I don't use a wheelchair.
Mhm.
I find that that's good and bad because I still have to transfer out of this to drive,
Mhm.
where if I had a wheelchair, I could drive from the wheelchair. But I do love having the scooter because I use it. I have good upper body strength, and I use it a lot to do, I hold on to the front and to pick up things and just do my daily chores. He did install handicap toilets in the home, and trying to think what else. I'm just so used to everything being accessible. I got to think about it.
Sure.
Do you use the scooter to navigate around the home? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's your primary.
This is my primary. Yep.
Equipment, okay.
I plug it in at night, charge it, and I'm in it
Okay.
all day long.
And do you feel like it saves you more energy?
Oh,
Like
definitely,
okay.
definitely. I had this friend that I mentioned earlier that gave me the yoga tape. She and I met years ago, and I was walking still, and she had just gone into a wheelchair, and I was really upset with her for going into the wheelchair, and I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you giving up?
Right.
And she says, I'm not. I'm preserving my energy and my
Mhm.
quality of life. I can do more
Right.
being in the wheelchair than trying to walk around. And I didn't realize it for years after that,
Mhm.
until I had my child, and realized that I really needed to keep my energy so that I could do all the things I needed to do to be a mom.
How long have you had that scooter for?
This one is actually 7 years old, but it's the
Okay.
third one that I've had.
Oh wow. Okay.
After my daughter was born, I became worse
Mm.
and stopped working, and then needed this more and more to get like to the grocery store and do things like that.
Okay.
And at the time, I had a regular van, but my husband made it so that I could literally take this chair or the seat off, put it in the van, and then hoist the scooter into the car myself and get out, so that if we needed to go to the mall or grocery shopping, that I could do that with my daughter. But now I don't walk at all, so I use this all
Is
day
there anything that you can't do with the scooter? Is
Can't
there-
drive from it. Legally,
Okay.
can't drive from it.
Gotcha.
This scooter is wonderful because it's very small
Mm, right.
and fit to my body,
Okay.
and that's why I like this brand. It's a little more expensive. It also has an up and down where I can raise myself,
Oh, nice.
so I can get in my cupboards.
Oh,
Okay.
very nice.
And I have a grabber tool to reach things, and if I
Gotcha.
can't, I just wait till my husband comes home. I'm trying to think what else. I do have a special seat cushion,
Okay.
so that I can make sure I don't have pressure issues, which I do have at different times. And it does the chair spins, so I can move and sit straight at
Okay.
a
So you
table
could
or
literally
chair.
adjust the seat to a different angle?
Yes.
Okay.
I can also lock it down, so if I need to do like my exercises and things, I'm not
Right.
spinning around.
Okay, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. And what is the name of the brand of the
Amigo.
Amigo.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you have anything in your shower, like any equipment that you use, adaptive equipment?
Yes, I
Okay.
have a seat that I transfer over to.
All right.
I also have a handheld shower available
Okay.
next to me, that I can use if necessary, but the regular standard shower.
So does that also help you preserve energy?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Gotcha.
I do, like I said earlier, I have good upper body
Mhm.
strength, but it does put a lot of pressure on my shoulders
Gotcha.
and my neck. I do have a, I don't know if it's not like a dislocation in my neck, but I very easily can have issues with that, and I very often have shoulder issues, so I try and preserve this as much as possible,
Right.
so that I can transfer to the toilet
Mhm.
myself, take my shower myself, do those kind of things.
Yes.
And I do lift myself probably 40 times a day,
Oh, wow.
at
Okay.
least, just to get pressure
Wow.
off, or just, if you go into the toilet, then you have to lift
Yeah.
yourself to get dressed,
Yeah.
when you're in the toilet. And
That
then
definitely requires a lot
that's-
of upper body
Yes.
strength.
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
does your husband help with anything?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
he helps all the time.
What's the one thing that he helps you the most with?
Oh, gosh.
Or list a few things.
I do like him to go with me for grocery shopping.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
lifting the bags, having to
Okay.
handle all the things, all those types. He can't always do it, but if it's large amounts that we have to do, he does help me with that. He does do some of the driving.
Okay.
Okay.
If we are together, he'll drive rather than me drive, which is helpful, because then otherwise I have to transfer over. I
Right.
don't have a cushion
Okay.
on my seat, and I don't mind driving. Sometimes I prefer to drive.
Right.
But I don't do it for long periods of time. Like for an hour is about my limit.
Okay.
I don't like to do long distances.
So you guys don't travel too much? do you?
No. If we do, I will sit in the back seat instead of in the scooter, so
Mhm.
that I'm more secured.
Mhm.
I don't know if you noticed my vehicle out in the parking lot,
I
but
think we did. Yeah.
You saw it?
Blue van?
yeah,
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 okay.
yeah. It's all adaptive
Oh.
for
Okay.
my situation, so that's great, because then I can get out on my own and do things that I want to do.
Absolutely.
We have a hot tub at the home, which
Wow.
helps with my therapy. It's a hydrotherapy,
Mm.
and he does have to lift me in and out of that.
Okay.
So I can't do that myself. He helps with anything in the house that I can't reach, or cleaning, that kind of thing. Outside, I love to garden. He's
Okay.
built my flower beds up
Oh,
so that I
nice.
can reach them easily,
Okay.
and he likes to do that kind of thing. He's very creative. So it helps to have everything up at my level, and I don't
Right.
have to bend and hurt myself.
Where did you meet your husband?
He actually, we lived on the same street.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah, we went to school together. We never dated during
Really?
high school. We dated after, and he's very much like my father, very creative and handy, and just an all-around nice kind of guy. And
Oh,
um,
cute.
yeah, it's been great. It's 34 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yep, yep, it's a long time. Longer than you guys have been alive, right?
Right.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, just switching gears a little
Mhm.
bit, can you tell us what type of education setting you attended when you were an adolescent?
When I was an adolescent, I went to a Catholic school up until 6th grade, and then I transferred to the local public school. And during that time, I was walking, but I had a limp, and if I was tired, you could notice the limp more and more. I started the public school in a wheelchair because I had had surgery on my legs, on my left leg, and so I couldn't use the crutches throughout the whole school, and it was all new to me. So I did start out using a wheelchair there, but I think that was the last time that I needed assistance at school.
Okay.
Nobody really knew that I had anything wrong with me
Oh,
either, because
okay.
if I wore shorts, it would be a different story, or a skirt. But if I was tired, like I said, I would limp more, and they might notice that, but nobody really knew that anything was wrong with me.
Were you, at the time when you were adolescent in school, did you ever feel like you were nervous to tell people, or if they were to find out what was wrong with you?
No, I didn't at all. I shared, I thought I felt good that I could do what I could do, because I
Right.
knew other kids that were born with spina bifida were very involved,
Mhm.
physically, and I was very blessed.
At what age did you feel like the condition started affecting you?
I was 24.
Okay.
I was married,
Okay.
and I think what happened was we were riding on a three-wheeler, and we had hit a bump,
Mhm.
and I had sort of jumped off and got jarred.
Mhm.
And after that, I started having symptoms worsening in my right leg, which was my strong leg,
Right.
and had surgeries after that on my spine because I didn't realize that my spine was tethered,
Okay.
and my cord was tethered. And so after each of those surgeries, I did get a little bit better, and then I would start getting worse
Oh,
again.
that's good.
So I've had 5 of those surgeries.
Wow.
What was your daily routine in your school environment?
Daily routine,
Yes.
just like a typical kid.
So
Yeah.
arrive at the locker,
Yep.
Management class,
Yep,
meetings.
yep, carry your books. I was involved with all kinds of activities after school, French club, did CYO with the church, and not just I would have offices, like be vice president or president
Mhm.
or
Very nice.
secretary or
Mhm.
different things. So I always tried to be active
Involved.
and, with
What
the
were
school.
all the social activities that you were involved in, if you could remember?
Oh, gosh, that's a long time ago.
You're testing her memory now.
Yeah, really. Now my memory at this age starts failing. I gotta remember that. Okay, French club was one of them. Oh gosh, I gotta think.
Sure, sure.
I was in choir for a while, in the school choir.
Oh, okay.
Name some off.
Were you in any like sports?
Not really
Anything, or,
sports
like,
because
math?
of my leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did follow the cheerleaders around. I was sort of like a mascot with them, and went to all the games, and
Right.
rode
Yeah.
the sports bus and that kind of thing.
What about debate classes? Did you guys have any debate classes?
We really didn't. Yeah, I didn't get involved with that one. I'm not a debater.
Yeah, me neither. So.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So basically, your condition did not affect you growing up as an
I
adolescent.
don't think so.
Mm.
I don't think so. Socially, I tried to keep active with the kids in
Right.
different groups and
Okay.
do everything that they could do. I couldn't go to ski club or I did go roller skating, but that didn't work out well. So, but everybody tried to keep me involved as well.
That's
And
great.
Okay.
I thought it
Nice.
was more my job, to keep up with everybody else and.
You were motivated to
Yes.
just,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes, good word, motivated. Yeah.
gotcha.
So you felt like you had a nice support system.
I had a
Yeah.
great support
Yeah.
system. I had
Okay.
great friends. I had great family. I have 4 siblings and
Oh, nice.
very supportive parents. And everybody was, we all worked together. And my brother had special needs as well, so it was sort of, we all just stuck together. And
Right, just going through it together, right?
yep, did, the dances and,
Mm-hmm.
the usual teenage kid things.
Okay. Were there any challenges? Did you ever face any challenges that you can recall, or socially, or just in general?
I think as a teenager, there's always challenges, and you always feel like you're left out of things. So, yeah, I think there were, but I don't know if it was based on my physical ability or lack of ability, or it was just being a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
What advice could you give teenagers who may have challenges?
Oh, wow, that's a big question. Find a good support system, like you had said earlier. My faith is huge too. And just be as active as you possibly can. And I've always had, my mother always told me, there's somebody always worse off than you are, so try and keep not the woe is me, why'd this happen to me mode. And I tell a lot of my friends and my daughter now, you can have a pity party, but it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then get over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can have more during the day if you want, but just that 2 minutes and just get over yourself and just start focusing on what's positive and deal with it. You got to have your quality of life is based on your own
Right.
thought processes.
Input.
Mhm.
What are some tips or strategies that you have developed on your own to become more independent, or that you can recommend to other individuals?
Oh boy. Do research yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't rely on the doctors. They are busy and they don't know you. They try to, but they don't know you.
Right.
And then find people around you that can assist and are willing to do that, such as my spouse or my friends, or my daughter's a great advocate. I guess the internet now is just so phenomenal for that kind of thing, to find out information,
Mm-hmm.
medically or socially or independence-wise. And if there are groups like the Spina Bifida Association, that's where I started finding research out on my own, and find out if you have a local chapter, try and get involved with that. Other people that are going through similar situations are great support.
Okay.
Sounds good. What areas of occupation were more affected by spina bifida? Did you find any areas that you had to give up, or that you still managed to participate in?
As far as jobs go, or just
As far as, work, school, or
Leisure.
activities?
I don't know. That's a hard one, because I try to do as much as I possibly can.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you do have to give up, but it's based on each individual person. Like now I have issues medically with my bowels, so I find that the morning time I've had to give up things like meeting my friends for breakfast, or appointments that I need to go to for breakfast, or work, that kind of thing, because I never know what is going to be my day. What else? Energy, just not having enough energy to do things that you used to be able to do. Sleep, getting good sleep. If you don't get a good night's sleep, the day is going to be a little bit rougher. Having the neck and shoulder issues limits different things, so there's a lot of things. Some days are really good, some days aren't. Sometimes you have good weeks, sometimes you don't. There's been times.
So it's never the same for you.
No,
It
you can't really
fluctuates from
predict.
day to day.
Yeah, day to
Okay.
day. I don't try to plan too much. I do
Mhm.
make a schedule out so that I have goals to get done, during the day, but everything's flexible,
Right.
based on how I feel and how my body's
And do you feel like you've adapted to some of the, like, let's say there's a lack of energy for one particular day. Do you feel like if you had a set schedule for that day, do you feel like you're flexible enough to make those changes accordingly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'd make it that way just because I don't
Okay.
want to be feeling disappointed that I didn't
Right.
get done what I wanted
Right.
to do. I used to be a lot more OCD-ish, and I've learned over
Mm.
the years that that's not good for you and not healthy, because if you put that kind of pressure on yourself,
Right.
it just makes you feel like
Right.
you're not accomplishing, you're not
Mhm.
setting, you're getting you to your goals.
So you basically have realistic goals for yourself.
I try to,
Okay.
yes, yes, but I do try to push too. You know,
Okay.
I still try to set things up so that
Mm.
I'm not feeling, that I'm not doing more than I need, or not doing enough.
Okay.
You know, I've always been a volunteer kind of person, so I always
Right.
wanna think about trying to do things beyond my capabilities, but, you know, limitations
Right.
do. do come.
It's good that you try to lead a proactive lifestyle.
Yes.
And not let your condition affect you or stop you from doing what you want to do.
Yes.
Which is actually admiring.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's very, that's just the way I've always been. I think my parents, you know, had set that mindset as I was younger to keep pushing. 'Cause I was involved with 4-H or Girl Scouts or, you know, different
Right.
things as a child, and you just want to keep moving.
Mhm.
My dad's going to be 84, and he's like nonstop.
Yeah.
So I've always felt that I've had his personality, which is not always a blessing, but
Right.
that's
And
a
then
whole nother topic.
Right. And then as the saying goes, the only bad attitude or the only bad disability is a bad attitude.
Correct.
So
Very
Yep.
true.
I really believe in that quote.
Yep, I do too.
Well, this brings us to our last question.
Mhm.
In what ways would you say spina bifida has impacted your life as a parent? Do you feel your life as a parent is any different from other individuals, or?
I don't think it's that much different. I think my daughter sees things differently and through different eyes, through the eyes of being in a wheelchair. She doesn't remember me walking, which is sort of sad and made me tear up a little bit. But I think she was in 3rd grade when I stopped walking. But we have videotapes and different things that she can see me walking.
Mhm.
So that's sort of important, but I apologize.
No, sure.
Thank you. But she totally understands and is my advocate all the way.
Yes.
I always tell the story, we were in Walmart in the wintertime. It was right before Christmas and the parking lot was full. All the handicap spots were taken. She was like 10 years old, 10, 11 years old. And I had to park diagonally and take up 2 spots. And we had to run in for one thing. We come back in and there's a note on my car, and it's not nice. And it says, "Watch how you blank blank park." And I thought it was a note. Somebody recognized my vehicle and was wishing us a Merry Christmas. Well, she was so upset. She's like, "Mom, we've got to go back in the store and report this." And I said, "Jamie, they're not going to do anything about it. It's, you know, it's just somebody that's just ignorant, didn't see my handicap license plate, and blah, blah, blah." Nope, we're going in, we're going in. It's like, okay, we'll go back in. And I did it just because I wanted her to feel like she had a say and the advocacy of
Mm.
being in a wheelchair.
Wow. That's admirable.
Yeah, and I think she's a better person
Yes.
because of it.
Very good.
What's the most challenging thing that you feel is with being a parent with your condition?
Not being there for her if I can't get into a building.
Right, okay. So physically being there
Yep.
for her, okay.
Yep, because she was involved in school, and she was in cheering, and she was in different things, and some places just were not handicap accessible.
Mhm.
And if I couldn't get there, I felt terrible. But my husband, if he was with us, he would always make sure he'd pick me up and have other guys come and take my wheelchair or my scooter down, or that kind of thing. But I tried to be there as much as possible, and I probably overdid sometimes too, you know, to spoil her a little bit because
Yeah.
she was the only child, and I really wanted her to have a normal life.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, thank you for sharing with us.
Sure.
And I'm glad you have such a big support system.
Yeah, thank you.
It was amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing stories.
you.
Absolutely, that you push yourself. It's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
And your story is absolutely inspiring.
It is.
The fact that you're so
Yes.
motivated and you're not letting your condition affect you in any way.
And
You're
you're so
just
active.
Yes.
You're just
yes.
pushing
I
through.
try. I try to be as active as possible,
Mhm.
and set an example for others too.
Right.
You know, and try to smile. I
Yes.
think that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing is just
Yeah.
try and smile through the whole thing, even if you're having a bad day.
Right.
Yes.
Try to be showing that you know your life isn't that bad. There is always somebody worse off.